My name is David Kaaret. I'm here today as part of a series of talks on MarkLogic financial services use cases. Each of these talks focuses on a specific use case where MarkLogic offers clear benefits and has real-world experience. Today, we're talking about content delivery services in general, with a focus on the creation and distribution of investment research. Research is a broad subject. It includes research analysis, which involves creating research on industries, firms, and trends, and then providing access to it. It includes data science. This can require traditional and non-traditional data in constantly changing ways. Providing these areas with the data they need is a complex and difficult subject. All these areas are undergoing change right now. Data science is in a major area of growth, and its potential and use has dramatically grown in recent years. New data sources like social media and web crawling have become common. The amount of data from all sources has exploded. New technologies to process the data have been developed and are constantly improving. It has become possible to discover insights and spot trends in ways that were not possible before. While the potential and use have grown, the infrastructure is still immature. Today, data scientists do not spend their time generating new insights. Instead, they can spend 80% of their time obtaining and preparing data. The research industry has also been under stress and has undergone change. In the past, research was often bundled as part of the trading services banks and others offered. This was always controversial because there was a suspicion that the research was designed to help firms push the products they wanted to sell rather than provide customers with objective analysis. As a result, regulations forcing the unbundling of research and trading services now govern the industry. This has changed the economics of the industry. Before, research was a value add to trading services and was not expected to generate a profit on its own. Today, research is on its own and must justify sufficient value that customers are willing to pay for it. The transition to this new model is still incomplete. As you can see from this survey conducted by Waters Technology for MarkLogic, consumers of investment data still have a number of issues and concerns, including access to data and its management. Let's look at using MarkLogic to build a research hub to store and distribute research data. It is certainly possible to build research hubs with a variety of different technologies. The primary reason for using MarkLogic is getting things done quickly while maintaining enterprise standards. There's a number of reasons for this, which we'll be covering, but a lot of it boils down to MarkLogic brings agile to data management. With MarkLogic, you define deliverables for your first project and only do the work needed for that project. Your first project then becomes the base for moving forward. MarkLogic is in the business of helping its customers build data hubs for research data and for other purposes. It offers the Data Hub framework for doing this on-prem and the Data Hub service for doing it in the cloud. MarkLogic Data Hubs are designed to solve the problems you see on the screen. They ingest data in a wide variety of formats and provide a graphical environment to solve the issues of harmonizing data sets, identifying which records and documents refer to the same person or firm, even when they have different IDs, linking different items of data, and applying metadata so that the hub can be searched and queried more efficiently. Unlike most alternatives, MarkLogic research hubs are built on a single platform. This provides a lot of benefits, including a quick learning curve as there are fewer moving parts, far less work integrating different technologies like document, SQL, geospatial, and graph, and also a single platform also eases security and other concerns. When building a research hub, the first factor you face is that the data used in research is becoming far more diverse and varied than ever before. Insights can be gained from social media, trading data, news alerts, and other sources. Web crawling can make collecting and making valuable information much easier. From an IT perspective, this means that you need to have a platform that can handle virtually any kind of data and pull the different kinds of data together into a single unified whole. A key to MarkLogic's agile approach is agile data modeling. MarkLogic's ability to bring agile to data modeling is based on loading data as is and never deleting it. You define transformations and other harmonizations to the as-is data to bring out a golden record, but the original data is always there. When you need to enhance or change your data model, the changes are applied to your existing data as well as the new data. This is possible because everything you need is still in the document. When doing research, it is often necessary to combine data from datasets which were independently created and which refer to the same person, firm, or instrument in different ways. A data hub which does not recognize that records from different sources refer to the same entity are not especially valuable. MarkLogic helps solve this problem with smart mastering. In MarkLogic, Data Hub smart mastering can be set up so that if a document or record with a new ID is inserted into the system, it will check if it appears that the entity already exists with a different ID. If this is the case, it will merge the new record with existing records for that entity and create golden records. For example, if there's 3 customer records for a single person, MarkLogic will determine which address should be used in the golden record. A key difference between MarkLogic and many other systems is that the original data is retained and always accessible. If 2 records are mistakenly merged, it is a simple matter to unmerge them. When moving to a production system, data governance, including provenance and lineage, is critical. In many systems, data may go through multiple ETL steps before being presented to users. Once the data arrives at its final destination, it can be difficult to determine the source of individual data elements. MarkLogic largely solves this problem. MarkLogic Data Hub store in the same document the original as-is data and never delete it. They can be configured to store a record of all transformations performed on the data, and they of course can store the final golden records. The code to harmonize and enrich data can also be stored in MarkLogic. With all this, it is usually always possible to do the forensics needed to determine where individual data elements came from. Another key to MarkLogic Data Hubs is that it's easy to get data out of them. With MarkLogic, data discovery and self-service access to data is far easier to achieve than with data hubs built on other technologies. I mentioned that 80% of data scientists and other researchers' creators' time is spent on obtaining and preparing data. A key reason for this is that in the early stages of data analysis, scientists do hypothesis testing, where they try out new ideas, and if they fail, they move on to the next one. The one thing you do not want in this type of situation is to have to do time-consuming formal data modeling and ETL just to see if an idea works. You want to be able to get high-quality data with minimal effort, test the idea, and then, if you have good results, do the work needed to productionize it. Data access is an area where MarkLogic shines. Its agile data modeling lets you make data accessible quickly. Its multi-model capabilities allow you to bring your knowledge of your firm and your industry and turn MarkLogic into a smart data platform which enhances queries and searches and guides them to their answers. Any data in MarkLogic, even complex hierarchical data, can be easily expressed as SQL. The one drawback to agile data modeling is that you are querying against data that has not been fully modeled. This is much less of an issue for MarkLogic than for other platforms for a couple of reasons. First, when it loads data, it indexes structure as well as data values. If you load JSON data with an attribute of city, you can do a structured query of show me all the documents and records where city equals London, even though you never explained to MarkLogic there's an attribute called city. MarkLogic knows this because it stores the data structure on data load. A second reason is that MarkLogic has a world-class search engine. A common cause of users not being able to find the data they are looking for is that they do not think about it the way content producers do. When doing searches and queries, they will use different terms than the documents are indexed to and miss results. This can often result in users getting as few as a quarter of the results they should be getting. MarkLogic Data Hubs often use semantics to overcome this difficulty. They do so in 2 ways. The first is to create triples which links documents and records together. This way, MarkLogic can easily provide documents closely related to those that specifically meet the search criteria. Beyond relational style uses, semantic triples can also be used to create the sources and ontologies. These can be used to expand searches and queries. Let's look at an example. A user does a query on bond and high yield. They get some results. Looking at the results, they realize that items that should be there are missing. With a data hub that includes an ontology on financial products, more accurate results can be obtained. In this case, MarkLogic will know that bonds can be referred to as fixed income or debt security and that munis are a kind of bond. Similarly, MarkLogic will understand that there are variant ways to refer to high yield. When these triples are loaded into MarkLogic, searches and queries can automatically be expanded to incorporate the knowledge they provide. By incorporating your or others' knowledge of your industry into triples, you can turn MarkLogic into a smart data platform and dramatically expand your ability to provide users with accurate and correct information. Self-service access becomes far easier because users do not need to understand the internals of how the data was generated. There are many examples of financial services firms building research hubs on MarkLogic. This slide shows one example. It's a top 5 wealth management firm. In this case, the key was that MarkLogic's multi-model database made it possible to build a stronger asset management platform and a powerful search engine. Research data and notes are indexed on ingestion, ensuring that the research team has access to information in real time. MarkLogic also made it easier to combine research notes for sale to specific institutional investors. The hub linked internal asset IDs, external asset IDs, and ticket symbols, providing its users with better search results and a comprehensive view of asset management information. All of this came with the standard operational performance, providing sub-second speeds for all queries. If you're interested in building a MarkLogic-based research hub, MarkLogic has done some work to help. The Investment Research Hub helps create a central repository to unify customer data, embed semantics to enable tailored information products, and rapid content distribution. Contact MarkLogic to get started. So I hope you found this interesting.